morning sun stretched long shadows across the sacred dueling grounds as Kira Shadowmir tightened her grip around the ancient blade that had been carried by 7 generations of her clan. Across the circle of weathered stones stood her opponent, calm to the point of irritation, a young man barely past his 20th year. He claimed no family name, no noble heritage, and no recognized right to challenge the traditions of the Highland clans. "Last chance to withdraw your challenge, outsider," Kira called, her voice echoing across the gathered warriors. "You know nothing of our ways." The stranger, who had given only the name Aldrich, slowly shook his head. His plain clothes and ordinary appearance marked him as common-born. Yet there was something in his steady gaze that made even the eldest warriors shift uneasily. "I cannot," Aldrich answered quietly. "What your clan intends to do to the villages below violates the old laws. I stand by my challenge." Murmurs spread through the crowd. For 3 days, the young man had spoken against the clan's decision to seize the fertile lowland territories by force, quoting ancient accords long forgotten by most. When his words failed to persuade them, he invoked the right of trial by combat, a right no clan could deny, regardless of birth. Elder Thane Morvk stepped forward, raising his weathered hands for silence. "The challenge has been accepted. Let the duel begin. May the ancestors guide the worthy blade." Kira struck first. Her sword cut through the air in a flawless arc that would have defeated any ordinary opponent. But Aldrich moved like flowing water, his simple, unadorned blade deflecting her strike with effortless precision. They circled and clashed, steel ringing sharply across the stones. Kira's technique was perfect, shaped by years of training in the clan's hidden forms. Yet Aldrich matched her movement for movement, as though he sensed her intentions before she acted. Frustration ignited within her. She pressed harder. The sacred runes carved into her blade, symbols said to empower those of true Highland blood, glinted in the sunlight. Drawing upon every ounce of fury, she unleashed a crushing downward strike meant to end the duel. Aldrich raised his sword to block, but the sheer force drove his guard down. Her blade sliced across his left palm, drawing a thin line of crimson blood. The instant her sword touched his blood, everything changed. The ancient runes carved into her blade erupted in blinding golden light. They flared like captured sunlight, writhing and shifting as hidden markings surfaced, symbols unseen for centuries. The radiance intensified until Kira staggered back, eyes stinging from the brilliance. But it was her clan's reaction that shook her most. One by one, every member of Clan Shadowmir fell to their knees. Elder Morvk pressed his forehead to the ground, his face drained of color. The proud warriors who had trained her since childhood now bowed before the bleeding stranger. "Impossible," Kira whispered, her sword trembling in her hands. The glowing runes pulsed again and rearranged themselves into ancient script. "Behold, the true king returns." Aldrich glanced at his bleeding palm with quiet resignation. "I had hoped to avoid this," he said softly. You're... Kira could not finish the sentence. "The last of the Dragon Lord line," Elder Morvk declared from his kneeling position, awe and fear in his voice. "The bloodline we believed extinct for 300 years. Aldrich wrapped cloth around his wounded hand. "My family has lived quietly among the land villages for generations. We wanted no part of old feuds or ancient wars. But when I learned of your clan's plans to claim lands that were never yours," he shook his head. "Some responsibilities cannot be abandoned." The truth struck Kira like an avalanche. The oldest laws, older even than the Highland clans, stated that a proven descendant of the Dragon Lords held dominion over all mountain territories. Her clan's leadership, her family's authority, everything rested on the belief that the royal line had ended forever. "The blade knows truth from lies," Morvk said as he rose. "The runes answer only to royal blood. We have no choice but to acknowledge his authority." Around the circle, clan members stood slowly, their faces marked by shock, fear, and reluctant acceptance. Younger warriors bristled with disbelief, but the elders silenced them with firm gestures. "What will you do with us?" Kira asked, her warrior's pride battling the reality before her. Aldrich considered her carefully. "Nothing that your clan does not choose for itself. The old rule of conquest and fear ended with my ancestors for good reason. But the protection of innocent villages from those who would abuse power." His eyes met hers steadily. "That duty remains. And if we refuse your claim?" A sad smile touched his face. "Then you prove that some lessons must still be learned the hard way. But I hope it does not come to that." Kira looked down at her blade as the golden light slowly faded back into dormancy. In a single moment, everything she believed about her clan's rightful place had been overturned. The stranger, the king, had not claimed victory in their duel. Yet he had won something far greater. "The villages will remain untouched," Kira said at last, sheathing her sword. "We withdraw our claim to the lowlands." Aldrich nodded gravely. "Thank you. Perhaps in time, we can find a better path forward together." As the crowd dispersed, Kira caught Elder Morph's arm. "How did you recognize him so quickly?" The old man's eyes carried memories she had never seen before. "Because, child, I was there the night his great-grandfather died. I saw those same runes blaze when they struck down the last known heir. I never thought to witness that light again in my lifetime." Kira watched Aldrich walk toward the land paths, his humble clothing and quiet bearing unchanged despite the revelation of his royal blood. A true king, she realized, was not one who demanded a throne, but one who accepted its burden when duty called. The Highland clans would need to rethink everything they believed. And perhaps, under the guidance of a reluctant king who preferred village life over royal power, they might finally find the peace that had eluded them for centuries. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.